Howdy everybody, David Minkin here, starting player with Connect More, and welcome to another edition of 3TV, the tabletop view of Tiny Tabletoppers. And today, me and my Tiny Tabletoppers are playing Sherlock, where memory and deduction are elementary. This is primarily a memory game, but there are other elements in this game that you can use to help educate and teach your Tiny Tabletoppers along the way, which we'll touch on in the gameplay and in my brief introduction here as well. But before I get into that, let's just talk about memory games in general. Now, let me just digress for a second. I'm sure all of you parents out there remember the time when, whether it be at sports or at games or whatever it was that you were doing with your parents when you were younger that was competitive, I'm sure you remember the time when you actually beat your parents straight up at whatever it was. For me, it was when I was 8 years old. I was playing street hockey with my dad, and I remember we'd always play a game, whoever got to 5 first would win. I'd shoot at the doghouse, he'd shoot at the garage. And I remember one time I actually beat him. And I remember after I scored that 5th goal, I'm like, I think Dad was trying. I think I beat him. Like, not just beat him like with him trying and making it close. Like, I actually think I beat him. And then my thoughts were confirmed when he's like, let's play again. Well, Dad, I got homework to do. No, we're playing again. Okay, so we played again, and I beat him again. And I remember thinking, wow, like I beat Dad. Well, that night, my homework didn't matter. It didn't matter that I stayed up past bedtime. It didn't matter that I was tired the next morning because he kept me out there playing until finally he could beat me again because I beat him straight up. Well, we obviously didn't play memory games as a kid. I don't remember playing them, so I guess my memory's not that great anyhow. We obviously didn't play them because you play a memory game with your toddler, 3-year-old, he will beat you straight up. That's a fact. And what's really funny about this game in Sherlock is even if you read through the rules, it says for a beginner, use 6 cards instead of 8. So basically put less elements out, and I'll show you what that means in a second. Put less elements out so a beginner can handle it. What? No, that's crazy. For a beginner, you should be putting 10 or 12 cards out there because their mind is razor sharp. For people like me and my friends, yeah, we should be putting 6 out, but I don't consider ourselves beginner board gamers. So it's the memory genre is fantastic because it really gives your kid a sense of accomplishment because he's going to beat you, he's going to get it, he's going to know it. And that's also why you see memory games are very popular. And heck, I was at Boston Pizza maybe a couple months ago, and they gave a little game to the kids, and in fact it was a memory-based game. So we're playing Sherlock in this video, and I need to say that Sherlock, in fact, is still maybe a little bit dry with my youngest Tiny Tabletopper, who's 2.5, and I think part of the reason why is for the majority of the time, the cards are actually face down, so it's just a bunch of blue cards, and it's kind of boring to him. He likes to look through the instructions because the instructions actually show the cards and what's on the other side, and it's more interesting to him, whereas this game has only started becoming a little bit popular now with my oldest guy who's 3 3/4. So around 3.5 is when this game started to click. Before this game, still in the memory game genre, this was the game. And we can talk, I'll do another 3TV on this one, Pengaloo. And it's pretty hard for a card-based game like Sherlock, just like this, just a card-based game, to compete against cute little wooden penguins. And what they're doing is they're hiding their little different colored eggs, and they hide them inside them like this. And you roll the dice and you get different colors of the dice. And if you go and find the right penguin, you get to put them on your iceberg. It's all very thematic, and it catches on with the Tiny Tabletopper almost immediately. Moving beyond that, before we even got to Sherlock, we played Monster Chase quite a bit, and we still do play Monster Chase quite a bit. In fact, they had me carve a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween, which is this Thursday, as one of the monsters. I did a terrible job, but they really love this game. And why? Because even a 2-year-old loves yelling at the monsters to get back in their closet. Go, get back in your closet, you silly monster! And so they yell at it all the time. They have a great time. So this game is very similar in style. It's a card-based game, and you're just trying to flip over and remember where different things are to scare the monsters away. But the kids love it because it gives them this theatric moment where they get to yell at the monsters and really express themselves. So this one actually became popular before Sherlock. The reason why Sherlock now is starting to catch on with my kids is I think it's partly because of me. Because it is a card-based game, the cards are extremely durable. The pictures are fairly nice, they're quite basic, but I usually, when I go anywhere, I'll just take the main Sherlock card, put it together with maybe half a deck, throw it in my pocket, and wherever we go, then I can just throw it out, and it takes a very small footprint. So maybe it's partly because of me. As a parent, I've been getting better at being able to keep this on me and be able to play it whenever we have a couple minutes to spare. So there's a whole genre of memory games out there. The other thing that Sherlock has going for it is that portability, low footprint, I'll describe in a second, and it really started catching on with my oldest tiny table topper because they have numbers on the top of every card, and I'll get into it. And the numbers only go up to 4, so it's quite easy for a young guy to start recognizing the numbers and recognizing the directions of the different arrows. So that's basically the components of the cards, which I'll talk about in a second. So once he started understanding and recognizing his numbers, this game really started picking up steam. But memory games don't stop with toddlers and their parents who go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I have such a bad memory, my 2-year-old is beating me. Because it goes on, because one of my favorite multiplayer games, a more party style game, but it goes up to about 6, 6 is Mamma Mia Plus. This involves a huge memory component as well. I've had awesome memories playing this game as an adult. And even the most recent Spiel des Jahres award, Hanabi, there's a huge memory component within this game because some of the funnest games I've ever played of this game Hanabi have been when people have forgotten what clues they've given, what clues they've been given, and it's just hilarious to see people trying to remember in their mind, well, what was that clue? And so the memory games start when they're young and they keep going and they're always enjoyable. So I really, really enjoy the memory game aspect of it. So what is the gist of Sherlock? Let's get back to what we're going to talk about today. Well, how is Sherlock set up? It's really, really basic. You're going to take your deck of cards and you're going to have a Sherlock card. He's a little dog. And you're going to take the cards and you're going to flip over 8 different cards in a circle around the central deck. And when you flip them over, you'll notice that the cards have a number on top and they have a direction on top. And so quite simply, all you do is you flip over face up 8 of these cards, give everybody a moment to see what the cards are, then you flip them back over so they're face down or the blue side up. Then somebody will choose where Sherlock gets to start and you'll put him beside one of the face down cards, and then you basically just have to say, right, that card was a balloon. Then you flip it over and go, woohoo, it was a balloon, I remembered. And then you look at the number at the top, and the number and the arrow always stay on the outside of the ring. You look at the number at the top and the direction of the arrow, and you slide Sherlock that many cards over in the direction of the arrow, and then you try to remember again what that face down card is, and you keep going round and round and round until eventually Sherlock comes back to a card that you've already guessed during that turn. And if the card is face up when Sherlock gets there, you take the card and go, yay! And then you replace that space with another card, put them all face down again, and the next person has their turn. And the first person who gets to a predefined number of cards that they've actually collected wins. If you don't get Sherlock back to a face up card, then you missed your turn. You just flip all the cards back over, however many ones that you remembered, and you start with the next person again. So it's really, really simple, and it's easy to take with you. Me and my boys, we play in 2 different ways. Like, this is a game that you can play both individually, player versus player, and you can play cooperatively, kind of all together. And that's kind of fun because it doesn't really show my kids just how terrible my memory is. So I'm able to kind of use them and kind of fudge my way through it. So it's it's very age dependent because when we're playing individually with the young guy, he gets bored when it's not his turn. And the reason why he's bored is because he just sees a whole bunch of blue cards in a circle face down on the table, and that's not very engaging for him when somebody else is going and nobody's really asking him what his input is. And the thing is, it's really difficult because you don't want to ask him what his input is because you want the other person whose turn it is, the other tiny table topper, to actually have a moment to have a think and work through it. So even if the other guy knows it right away, you're trying to, tell him, no, wait your turn, please let this other guy try to sort through it. And so the younger guy definitely gets disengaged a lot faster with this game, and that's another reason why some of these other games are more popular, especially at a younger age with my tiny table toppers. So my 3.5-year-old, he can play for several rounds, but he cannot play a complete game as described in the rules. So the other problem with playing individually is the older player tends to dominate. Even cooperatively, the older player does dominate a little bit because even if it's my little guy's turn, the older player is so excited to tell everybody, oh, that's a rake, that's a shovel, and then the little guy's turn that it is, he doesn't really have an opportunity. So this is also a good chance for dad and the parent of your tiny tabletopper to actually, you know, try to really teach your kids about the alpha syndrome. Try to teach your kids to for turn taking, and this one is especially difficult for teaching turn taking. There's other games out there that are a lot easier for turn taking. This one, people are so keen to show that they remember. It's hard for them to remember that it's not their turn, so they like to jump in right away and say it. So I find that this game is especially good for really forcing and stressing the structure of a game and the turn taking of a game. And I like to think that my kids are very good at turn taking, but this one really, especially for the older one, really stresses that or pushes that boundary a little bit for him. And cooperatively is fantastic because we're all engaged together. It's a lot more enthusiastic. There's we tend to play a little bit longer, and the younger guy is more engaged the whole time. So I typically start without any preconceived idea how we're going to play, but if it turns into more of a cooperative play, that's fine, as long as we're having fun and the boys are engaged. And we'll work on the alpha play. We can also work on the alpha player syndrome during that time as well, to help reinforce also the ability to let everybody have a voice and a say, especially in the co-op games. So it works both ways for us, and I'm finding I personally enjoy it, and I think my kids enjoy it better as a co-op game right now, and that's fine. It's great because everybody gets to enjoy it. So what skills are developed in this game? Well, obviously memory, because you have to remember the different cards and their layout. But I'm also finding a thing I really like about this particular memory game versus other memory games I've played is it really introduces a level of deduction for the kids. And I think the Sherlock name is really appropriate, because you'll see in the playthrough, the little guy will get to a card and he'll kind of scratch his head and he can't remember. But especially if you're playing cooperatively, we can start going through, well, right, is it a ice cream cone? And then he would say, well, no, the ice cream cone is here. And he can start going through all of the other face-down cards and saying what they are, until eventually he gets back to his card, and then he can think about, well, what didn't I say? And you'll see him do that quite a bit. And the way that it works out quite nicely is the orientation and the place where all the cards are never changes, so it allows him that deductive ability. So if he knows exactly where 4 or 5 are, and his card hasn't fallen on that one of those 4 or 5 cards, you'll see him start using more deductive reasoning, or basically be more decision making by subtraction, essentially by elimination, to finally get back to something. And he makes some pretty good deductive answers where he doesn't know the memory, doesn't have the memory for that one exact card, but he's able to deduce back around, and he's able to make a fairly good educated guess. So that's really an excellent skill, which I'm seeing that this game pull out. The other memory games I haven't seen yet. And the other great thing I love about this is directions. With the directions of the arrows, you can start introducing clockwise, counterclockwise, and if you really want to, one thing you could also do, which I haven't done, because actually I just thought of it before I did this video, is take down your wall clock, put it down right in the center where you put the cards, and you can show where the second hand and the minute hands are turning, and you can introduce clockwise, counterclockwise. Similarly, depending on the direction that they're looking at the cards, you can introduce lefts and rights. And you can also start reinforcing, well, is that arrow pointing towards me, or is it pointing away from me? So you can start introducing all levels of direction if you'd like to. And again, it's a weak counting game because it only goes up to 4. So that's one thing that, although there are number recognition there and there's a little bit of counting involved, it's a weak for that because it only goes to 4. And the other game, as always, it's always about good gamesmanship. And again, like I said before, it really helps reinforce turn order and really trying to bite your tongue if you know that answer, but you're trying to let somebody else do it. So all in all, I highly recommend this game, especially for the 3.5 plus. But other than that, I find that other games that allow the kid to express themselves more, or have more of a toilet quality to them are a lot more beneficial and a lot more engaging for the kid. But we're having a great time, and I think part of the reason why this game for our family has started to become popular is the portability of it. I just take a small deck of cards, take Sherlock, do this, and I just carry it around, and there's always time, they're always engaged when I pull it out. So please enjoy the walkthrough, and I will see you next time for 3TV. And if you like this video, please come find me out on Facebook and or my YouTube channel, and please subscribe or like me on Facebook. That would be awesome, and I look forward to seeing you again. Cheers. Okay.
Oh, Sherlock. This is a tricky box.
Is it a tricky? Oh, you got it. No problem.
How do we take the instructions out like that?
There you go. Yeah, that looks like you got it.
Okay. These are the question cards.
Okay. Here, I'll take the
Sherlock.
instructions here.
I'm going to be a blue Sherlock. I'm going to be starting player.
You're going to be starting... Oh, Finley, is that okay with you? Mason wants to be starting player.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see what all the cards are going to be in the center. We have a butterfly. We have an umbrella. We have a comb. We have a bucket. We have a match. We have a polka dot coffee cup. We have a cherry. And we have an anchor. So Daddy's turn. So you got to choose where Daddy goes.
You be brown Sherlock.
I'll be brown Sherlock. And where
And
should we
I'll be blue Sherlock.
Where am I going to start? I can go over here.
Yes. Anchor?
This is an anchor.
Yeah!
It is an anchor. Move over here. So
Butterfly!
is it my turn or your turn? It's a butterfly.
Yeah!
Yeah, butterfly. So go over,
Oh,
two over here.
okay, okay. Okay, I don't know what the
But,
I need a comb!
yeah, did we do this one before, guys? It was a
It's
comb.
comb.
Let's see. It's a comb! Yeah! Oh, all right, so now we got to go one this way. And which one is this again? Was it an umbrella? Woo! Yeah! Finley, we got an umbrella. Oh, Finley, we're going to leave the instructions over here, okay?
No, I'm gonna get no.
Okay. Okay, so what's the number on top of the umbrella?
Hour.
Yeah, it's a 4. So leave the arrow on the outside of the ring. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what that is?
Coffee cup.
Hey, Finley, we're going to leave the instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and does it have a pattern on it?
Yeah.
What kind?
The
Well, the pattern, is it polka dot or striped?
Polka
Polka dot. Polka dot! Yay! All right. Now, Finley, we move over here. Finley, do you remember which card this is? Oh, Finley, here, I'm going to take the instructions, okay?
I don't know. I'm going to be blue.
Oh, no, it's still Daddy's turn, but I need your help. Do you guys remember which one this is?
Say your brown shirt.
Yeah, do you remember which one this is?
I don't know. No.
I think it's...
Cherries!
I think you're right. Do you think it's cherries?
Yeah!
Whoa! Oh, yeah, way to be enthusiastic. All right. So what number is that, Finley? Do you know?
A free.
Oh, give Finley a chance to answer, too. So that's a 3. And the arrow points towards you or towards me?
Towards me.
Towards me. So 1, 2, 3. What card could this be?
A banana.
An umbrella? The umbrella's over here. Oh, Daddy can't remember. We did so much good work here. I can't remember.
I don't know. I think it's an anchor. Bucket!
What is it?
Bucket!
Oh, and a bucket?
Yeah.
You think it's a bucket? Let's see.
Yeah.
It is a bucket! Yay! Woo! Oh, Finley. Yeah, let's save that for the rock concert, though, okay? So I go 1 over here, and this is the very last card.
Match!
Yeah, I mean, that's what we use to start the green egg, isn't it, guys?
Match!
It's
Yeah!
a match. Oh, Finley, let's just dial it down a little bit. And what's the number on the match?
A free.
So I go 1, 2, 3, and the card is already flipped over, so that means we get it.
Then we add a new card to the pile,
Yep.
and it's scissors.
It's scissors. Here, let's show the camera so that they can see the new card. Okay, so it's scissors. So now let's flip over all the cards. So we got scissors.
Butterfly, an anchor, cherries, coffee cup, match, bucket, and comb.
And comb. So let's start there. Hooray! There's a comb. And that what's the number? Move one. Do you remember? You remember this game that we played? Okay,
Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. Scissors.
I got scissors too. What do you got, Finley? Oh, scissors don't cut scissors. Just get us do it. 1, 2, 3.
Rock.
Paper.
I want paper.
Yeah, you can cover up Mason's rock. Go cover up his rock. Oh, okay, now guys. So I'm giving you a hint here. We're playing rock, paper,
scissors.
So what card is this?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, well, which one have you seen? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it a rock? Is it a paper?
No.
Could it be scissors?
No.
You don't think it's scissors?
No, we are wait. Get the scissors.
Well,
I think 8. Our scissors.
Oh, yay! Good one. So you flip that over. What number do we have up there? Okay. Now we're to the tile that you wanted to start on. What is it?
Okay.
Oh. Yay! Good. That was a confident
Quack! Quack!
Hey, Finny, what sound does a ducky make? Hey, look, and there's a ducky right there, too.
This is a blue, this is a ducky, this is a thumb, this is a...
And what number do you got there?
3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, is this a... This is a ducky.
I don't know. I'm stumped. I'm stumped, Mason. You're going to have to try to figure it out on your own.
These are cards. Just flip it over.
No, we don't do that. It's a memory game. We gotta try to work it out. So, what cards have not been flipped over?
So look, these ones.
Right. So, do you remember which one this is? Okay. Do you remember which one this is? Do you remember which one this is? Oh, let's go. Quick.
Someone thought it cool. Built a double but band together a dimmed sun. Bob the builder last weekend. Go back in Disney. What do you do? Left and Wendy trying to go. Built a double but band together a dimmed sun. Hey Finny, good singing. Bob the builder last weekend. Okay, is this movie?
Okay. So, where were we? Okay, where were we? So, we're on this one here. So do you remember this one?
Yeah, anchor.
Okay, and do you remember this one?
Also, match.
Do you remember this one? Do
Coffee cup.
you remember this one?
Cherries.
So which one haven't we flipped over? You got all these ones sort of figured out.
All of them.
Well, there's just this one that you need to guess. That's where Sherlock is.
Scissors, doggy,
So you remembered this one was a match.
Sherlock.
You remembered these ones were cherries.
Soda.
You remembered that this one was a coffee cup. Or was it? Those are cherries, that's a coffee cup, and you remembered this was an anchor. So which card? And we know that's a ducky, scissors, and a comb. So do you remember what this card might be? If you were to take a guess, and let's see what Finley's card was. So, see, and the butterfly's gone, and Daddy's umbrella is gone. So we've seen this card. Let's see if it's a bucket. Whoa, it is a bucket! Good job, Mason. That was a really good effort to figure that out. Yeah, Bob the Builder. And Mason, your brother, yes, he can. So what number is this? Okay, so now do you remember? Okay, let's try it. Can I flip it for you? Oh, it is a match. And what number do we have here? 1, 2, 3. And hooray, you get the scissors. Hey, so why don't we go to bed now, okay, guys? It's bedtime. So what do we'll stop the game right there, and what do we say? No, for coming. Thank you, Mason, for playing, and thank you, Finny, for playing. And look, you can even shake my hand. You can even shake my hand. You want to shake my hand? Oh, give me a pound, dog.